But
Morning, Brian.
I've got to say to you, well, you'll be hurting, that's clear. There's nobody knows more, Brian, with the greatest respect, about playing for Manchester United than yourself. How did you feel watching it, first of all, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it's, really poor stuff from us. And you look back at last season, I thought Ollie had got us really going well, because we got off to a poor start, got beat at home, Tottenham 6, but then we went on this long run without getting beat away from home in the Premiership, and you're thinking, all right, we're looking really solid at the back. Obviously with the forwards that he brought in with Ronaldo, you're thinking, yeah, we should move on, but I mean, that was a real shock on Sunday to play so badly and lose so badly. But, a bit like people, and it was just as if we didn't care, sort of, and that is so disappointing for the fans and people who support Manchester United.
Is that what disappointed you the most, Brian? Was it the performance, or was it like the defensively, or even individual performances?
It was the whole lot. I mean, individual performances, a collective performance. I mean, defensively, we just looked as if we'd get cut apart every time Liverpool attacked us. So you couldn't really pick out one thing in the game, which we did well.
See, looking at it, Robert, that was the thing. Listen, we've all been there, let's not kid ourselves on, we've all bang average, poor performances. But the one thing I couldn't believe was actually the standard and quality of defending. And I'm thinking, the one thing, another thing that Ollie's been criticised for is playing, Fred and McTominay in the same team. And I could understand that if, you wanted two defensive, midfielders to sit and protect. But they looked all over the place defensively, Robbo.
Certainly did. I mean, nobody did the job well. And people will always pick out a little bit of something, and when we talk about Scott and Fred, it worked. It worked last season.
Yep.
When we were playing away, it was mainly them two all the time. And the balance that Ollie went with on Sunday, it worked really well, and in big games last season. But, you look at that and you're going, crikey, what's gone wrong here? Is there anybody going to get a hold of somebody and say, get yourself in here, get a bit of organisation? Because it was right from the off. Liverpool were just going through us as if nobody was bothered.
What do you think long term? I mean, everybody clearly has got their own opinion on it, Robbo, and they're all shouting for Conte, they're shouting for Zidane, whoever it may be. Do you think Ollie has a future? Clearly, we know he's a brilliant fella and he's a fighter, that's for sure. Do you see him staying and attempting to see this through?
Look, I think Man United as a club will always give people a fair chance, but Ollie has now got to turn it around quickly, because we can't have too many more performances and results like that. And especially against, the opposition, which is the biggest opposition in the world for Man United Liverpool games. So you can't have performances like that, so you've got to be able to change it round very quickly. And it's like I say, I'm just a bit gobsmacked by, these players have done it. I mean, they've been to cup finals, semi-finals and everything, and they've put in some really good performances. So to put in a performance like that, when you think things are improving all the time and the club's going forward, was a real shock to the system.
Brian, we talk about the DNA of Manchester United and the goals and the attacking and all that, but being a player that's played at the club for a long time previously, one of the things that stood out for me playing against Manchester United was the work rate. Do you think Ollie has emphasised that enough out of possession with this team? Because I look at the third goal and Andy Robertson plays a ball into the striker, he runs past Greenwood, he runs past McTominay, and then keeps the move alive without being contested. I don't see the out of possession work rate with this Manchester United team. When you look at the teams I played against, it was massive. You couldn't get anywhere near them. In possession, out of possession, they run more than you.
Look, in any DNA of any football club, the first thing is you build a solid base, and it goes without saying the work rate has got to be better than the opposition if you want to beat them. But that solid base has got to be there. And then with the type of players we've got anyway, we're brilliant in certain games at counter-attacking anyway. So, you've got to get that solid base right first, though, so then you're not giving goals away and encouraging the opposition on top of you. And like I say, with people like Ronaldo now, Marcus Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, they've proved that they're really great players at counter-attacking. But you've got to get that solid base. That's got to be the first thing that comes in.
Brian, I mean, is it going to get into the point where potentially Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to have to start making some big decisions? And when I say that in terms of if he's going to want to press from the front, well, we saw Edison Cavani certainly last season. He was fantastic for Manchester United, really helped the youngsters as well. And he plays with a real energy and a real intensity in terms of winning the ball back. Now, of course, we know how good Cristiano Ronaldo is, but he's not going to do that. So is Ole going to have to make the big decisions maybe to take Ronaldo out, play Cavani, even dare I say it, take out Harry Maguire, who's not playing very well, and give someone else an opportunity?
Well, I think it's definitely the case of you've got to get the balance right, and you've got to get it right now. Over the last few performances, we had great comebacks against Atlanta and Villarreal, but the actual performance, they could have scored a few more goals, both teams, against us. So, this has been coming where we haven't looked as solid as what we would like to be. But Ollie and his staff have got to really work on that with the lads, because that's all you can do. There's no point keep sort of looking back at the Liverpool performance. You've had Monday, you've learned, you look at it, you make the lads look at it, you see what you've done wrong, and now you get out on the training pitch and you work really hard to put it right. And I'm sure that's what Ollie will be doing. But the players have got to have a big part in that as well.
I think you're right, Robert. And I'll be honest, I didn't know this statistic, and somebody's just kind of gave me it. And you touched on it defensively, working on the back four and defensively in midfield as well. I mean, it seems pretty clear. United have kept one clean sheet in the last 21 games. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it?
It is. I mean, that shows you that you haven't got it right as far as a unit, because I hear that when you talk about a team like defensively and people go, it's the back four. No, it's the whole team. Yeah. They're not working well together as a team to defend, and they've got to start doing that if they want to start keeping clean sheets.
Well, Robert, listen, appreciate you coming on, mate. It's obviously hurting you along as ex-Man United players and indeed Man United supporters, so we really appreciate you taking the time to come on and speak to us at talkSPORT this morning, mate. Thanks very much indeed. That indeed was Bryan Robson. He'll be back with us next month to promote Robbo, the documentary that charts his spectacular career. And what a career that was. You and I were speaking about it, Trev.
My God, what a player.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.